can look at the woman and you can easily tell, oh, this woman is carrying twins because of the shape of the abdomen. Oh, this woman has polyhydramnios because of the shape and the size, extra large. You can easily diagnose. You observe the abdomen for so many things. What are some of the things that we observe on a woman's abdomen? Yes, the first row. Just give me 1 point.
We observe the size.
The size I've already mentioned. I've already mentioned the size, so mention yours.
If there is any CS, previous scars.
So previous scars on the abdomen, which it may not necessarily be CS. Yes, or a laparotomy when the person was even young. She fell from a mango tree. The spleen has ruptured, so she had splenectomy done on her. So you may probe further to find out what caused the scar. What again? Yes. You will. So whether the gestational age corresponds with the fundal height of the abdomen. Okay. Yes. Linea nigra. Yes. Edematous abdomen, signifying what? High blood pressure. Okay. Yes. Any more? Striae gravidarium. Okay. What again? Fetal movement. Sometimes the woman lies down. Immediately you see that something is moving up and down. Fetal movements. Sometimes you can see what? The position, the lie of the baby. It could be what? Cephalic presentation, lie, longitudinal. What again? Transverse lie. What again? Oblique lie. What again? From the back. I haven't heard you. Bridge. You can also see, even though it's longitudinal lie, the presentation is what? It's not cephalic. And so you can easily differentiate some of these things. So that when you have the students around you, they may be asking you questions. And you should be readily available to answer whatever question they ask. Teaching them. That's why we are grading ourselves. The students who come around, they'll be looking up at you. Teaching them would be very, very pleasant to the students because you already know and you are just adding up value to whatever we know. And quite apart from that, this woman, if she's in labor, she may be having pain. So we'll talk a little about pain management, which I know that you know how to even take somebody in labor through pain management. Be it giving drugs, how do we call it? Epidural, or the exercises that we teach them from the ANC. But you know, with labor, it's so painful that when they come, they even forget everything you have told them from the ANC. So sometimes I say, hey, today you have failed. I'll mark you 0 because you have failed. They are not able to apply, and it is what they are making. You know, it is what they are making. So, Madam Zoe is here. We want to examine her abdomen, but before then, we want to ask her to urinate. What is the rationale from the middle? I mentioned that we want to tell Madam Zoe to urinate for us to examine her abdomen. Why? What is the rationale behind asking her to urinate before we And yes. You don't want her to interrupt when you start the procedure. Okay, that is a point. Another point. They can't hear.
When the bladder is full, it becomes the standard to be an abdominal organ. So because of that, the measurement will be
Okay. That is another good point. And it makes her feel comfortable and relaxed. So like our sister said, she will not interrupt. But if she's the bladder is full, you know, oh, you touch it, she would. Okay. Those without a can. You see, thank you. You can easily palpate the abdomen to identify or to look out for what you want to. And about the palpations, how many forms of palpation do we have on the abdomen? Yes, those who have been spoken, please. From the right side, yes. The one who is looking at my face straight. I'm also looking at your face straight. Yes. You. Yes, you. Lateral palpation. One down and all right. What do you want to find out at the fundal palpation? What occupies what?
We find out what occupies there so that it can help us to measure ours.
Okay. So we normally would say the upper pole and then the lower pole. So what occupies the upper pole and the fundal area? Okay, so you can pay them to find out. And you mentioned lateral. Somebody talk. Yes. From the back. The feet are back. Did you say back or parts? Back. No, she's saying parts. Okay. So both the parts and then the back. Okay. If it is cephalic. Okay, and the pelvic area. Yes, sister in yellow, pink, representing part. What is over there? All right. And so if you examine the pelvis and then you can also identify positions. Positions. Malpositions, malpresentations. And so you'll be able to listen to the fetal heart rate where it is expected to. If it is occipital-posterior position, where will you identify the fetal heart rate? OPP. OPP. Yes? Occipital-posterior position. Yes. It's where? You are not too sure. Anyway, you are coming up. That's why I'm saying that we are adding up value. We know already, but it's like, yes. Oh, one thing. Okay. Where can we identify or locate the fetal heart rate? In occipital posterior position. If it comes in the question, MCQ, what will be your answer? Occipital posterior position. How is the baby lying? The occiput is facing what? The maternal pelvis. And so if the baby is lying this way and the occiput is facing the maternal pelvis, where would the fetal heart So from the midline to the flank, that is, you divide where, from the umbilicus. Sorry. So you can identify if it is a transverse line, it's a mark position. And so you can identify the head of the lateral parts. When you palpate, you can feel something very hard in one side, and then you can feel the limbs at one side. And then what of the pelvis, if it's transverse line? What will you find here? It will be empty. And so you can find, like OPP, you have the saucer-shaped position over here at the pelvic cavity or the pelvis area. And so just at the observation and then touching the woman to find the whatever you want to find, the back, the parts, the position, and all that. So if it is cephalic presentation, what will be the position? It could be right occipital anterior, left occipital. How do you identify it? If it is left occipital anterior, then you are going to judge it with the anterior shoulder to locate where the face of the baby is. So if the baby is lying this way, where will be the anterior shoulder? This will be the anterior shoulder and the posterior shoulder. So what will be the position? Is it right occipital anterior or left occipital anterior? And so what I want to say is that in our writers, we are always limited. Am I right? The doctors overtake us in some of these things. We'll write, oh, cephalic presentation. Oh, B. Oh, first year. Finish. Oh, membranes intact. No, you must go into details. Let them know that you are learning. So if it is abdominal examination that you are doing, the one has come today. All that we are talking about, they are detailed facts that should appear. The doctors will do, and they will write. That was why there was a time we had an issue with the doctors. And at the court, the doctors could present documents, written documents, whereby nurses had only about 2 sheets. I'm telling you a fact. That was why, and it was during the first time, we were going to judge the duties of the midwife and the nurses, the duties of a doctor, for them to judge how much they should give, our salaries, I've forgotten that.
When they were joining the
ADH, yes. That was when they overcame us. But the doctors will come and write, we will do everything. Bravo, so we should learn. That is what we should learn, please. Otherwise, we will always be marking and going backwards. I know these young ones, when you finish, you all would like to go abroad. The woman. When I raise the council, they work and intend them not their I know. But if you go there, then you will see. If you are the emergency, you will stand till you close. You won't sit. And you will be documenting, entering into the computer, adding up. Before you close, you might have written about notebook. I'm telling you, it's not a joke over there. But it's like we are so what are you saying? Let me tell you a story. We had a workshop at the facility, I'll not mention the name. At the consulting room, there was a young maid right there. That place, they carry out focus antenatal. So she was in charge of that consulting room, and I happened to be there with her. Then one day, we went, and she was monitoring. A certain lady came and checked the FH. She just picked it up. It's done. Plus. And I said, can I have a check? I want to try. She didn't know me. And I was wearing uniform. So she didn't know me. Of course, then, yes. So, when I picked the stethoscope, I placed it there. It sounded faint. Perfect. And I said, please, do you have a Doppler? She has it, but it was in a drawer locker. So she opened it up. It was off. So I had to break her a little. So I asked the woman to lie on the left side. Now, after a time, I picked that Doppler and I listened. You know, when you place the Doppler on the screen, the FH will come. But then, if you maintain it for the 1 minute, you see the variations. That is when we talk about deceleration and then acceleration. Do we write it? No way. The doctors will write.
But what about when we say the rhythm is irregular?
How irregular is it?
Because when you use the
Stethoscope.
you only hear the rhythm being irregular, but you cannot actually get.
What about the duration? How many counts did you get? I said, how many counts would you get for you to say that it is irregular? Of course, that also comes in when you say irregular. Once it becomes irregular, it means that the number of counts may be low, either high or low, and so the woman should be sent for scan. Or you can use a CTG machine to do it and then print out the graph that will come will alert you whether there is a long acceleration and deceleration or late acceleration or late deceleration. And that is where you come out with your correct data because you're not just being wrong. Yes, I'm not being. But you look at the whole. My conclusion is that eventually the fetal heart rate was very, very, very low. It was 70. But to 12 plus, the woman should go and put the message. By the time she comes, do you think that FH will be there? I tell you, that day, the woman was sent, we sent a woman to the doctor, they did scan. She was rushed to the theater and emergency CS from the AIDS. So if I had not been there, this woman would go home, lose the child, come back, and then the midwife will tell her, I'm maintaining her. So you see, most of the FHs that happens, sometimes, I'm not saying always, but sometimes we don't do our work well. That's why I'm saying that it's an adder. Are you getting the point? So that we'll strengthen ourselves and then do the right thing. One group, I told them, of course, I'm telling you. I've been a midwife for so many years. And then I retired and I wanted to come and help and little knowing that I have to. Of course, sometimes we do not do the right things. And we lose a lot of women, lose a lot of babies. So many people. So please, let's change our tactics a little and see how best we can offer the changes that come will benefit the baby, will benefit. And so at least we can know the positions and then the presentations. Whether it is the hand, sometimes it's a transverse, but the hand is out. Prolapse, membranes rupture, which will show you. Sometimes you will examine and you can't even identify whether it is lymphatic whether it is rich, I can find whatever is. Don't keep it to yourself. For the other people. Please, I'm not too sure of what I'm feeling. I won't worry. Please, we all came into the profession individually. Go in your head. Don't keep things in your heart so much. Otherwise, the effect is reflected on a woman who is painful. And midwife, and look, she's a nurse. She was topping up her degree program at UCC some years ago. She died of simple English managed. She was 15. She called. Oh, those who came, they didn't know. We don't like you. Even if you know, you shouldn't know somebody's identity before you know. Please. Let's try and then do the right things so that wherever we go, to follow us. I'm telling you. Simple trade procedure. We'll have a fetoscope, a watch, tape measure, hand sanitizer, and a glove. She has one on her already, so I'll just push or pull the upper cloth downwards and then dress upwards. The outside that she doesn't have, use this one. Madam J, good morning. Yeah. How are you this morning? I know you are in pain, don't worry. You'll be fine. Midwife, I'm here this morning to examine your abdomen to find out how the baby is lying. I will listen to the heart sounds. I will use something on the abdomen, so and then you see my hand moving on your abdomen. Don't worry, it is part of the procedure, and in no time I will finish and tell you whatever I found on your abdomen. Yes, you told me you urinated. Okay, thank you very much. And so, having explained the procedure, I wash my hands and then the sound is still not coming. There's no complaints. There's no complaint.
You want to video? Yeah. You want to video? Oh, we can share the link. We have a proper video here.
Okay, don't worry yourself.
I mean, saying
That's why I say he's a very good video man.
don't worry.
When we finish, we will share the link. Everybody will get it. Yeah, so but we allow the hands and we have a lot, so we allow the hands outside. But this semester, you will not do hands-on evidence, you do MCQs. But it's part of all that we are doing. We are just using the same practical thing that we have been sharing with you. We'll do that. They will not come here to do the practicals. They are first and then they will do it in the second semester. Yes.
So, can say, the practical, yeah, and the MCQs.
Oh!
Last semester, the same thing happened. They were expecting the practical to be converted into written. So they came and met labor and abnormal labor and they were complaining here and there.
But we are asking about whatever we are saying. Some of these things come out.
If you see Porphyrium, bear with us.
We'll be mentioning them, so don't worry. And once you look at the video, yeah. And so you expose only the abdomen. And then we already mentioned that when you expose the abdomen, you inspect. And the inspection we mentioned what? Scars, shape, size, striate gravidarium, linear nigra, and the rest. And so fetal movement is also part. Okay. So before I start, I have to What? To prevent. Oh, who is talking?
Not to stimulate excessive.
And so, you know, the baby is in a warm environment.
Somebody is saying yes.
Oh, okay, from. Yes, your question, please.
That was
Who is asking the question? Okay, let's move on. Maybe she'll come up again. And so I was saying that the fetus is in a warm environment. So anything pulled externally can affect because it's an external stimulus. And it will cause this fetus to jump or change the position, especially when you are checking the symphysiofundal height. Once we mention symphysiofundal height, people expect that the tape measure will begin from the symphysis pubis to the fundus. However, there are two types of schools, or two schools of thought, or what? You can start from the fundus to the symphysis pubis. Whichever way you place it, you will still achieve your. So, Madam Zui, so I'm touching your happiness. Trying to find out what is over there. So you stretch it to the upper border of the symphysis pubis. Then you place it down. So you always palpate the farther away before the one that is close to you. So as I support over here, I'll be palpating the abdomen for the back. And we use the pads of our fingers.
To allow the woman to lie on it.
It doesn't affect anything. Does it affect? On a period. Yeah, she's in labor. Sometimes some of them will even ask you, Mama, I want to make a period. In fact, with a huge abdomen and then for her to lie, sometimes you see that they will even fold their clothes. There's no pillow. They will feel comfortable rather on pillow than in a bed. So now I am done. Madam Zoe, please, you flex your knees for me. Is that what you say? Your phone. So now our face, lips, and our go this way. I need to find out what is over there. Satisfied. Straighten your legs.
Those online are asking what we are discussing.
We are asking what we are discussing. We are doing abdominal palpation for a woman who has come in labor, my dear. Okay, so the back is here.
This same, we don't need that much.
The same month.
Some didn't come. So they are, I think they are somewhere, I don't know.
How many are there?
40 something. 40 something.
56.
Those who have joined.
Yeah.
56. And
So
you are,
we are 49.
you are 49 today. Oh, okay. So you are around 10 minutes something. 157. And so, once I place it there, I compare the maternal pulse with the fetal heart rate. And we all know that the fetal heart rate is always faster than the maternal pulse. And then I'll tell you the story. You know, there is a trick. Now, when you are counting the fetal heart rate and you compare with the maternal pulse, let me stand this way. You compare with the maternal pulse. If when you are satisfied that the maternal pulse is lower than the fetal heart rate, leave the mother's mind. Otherwise, you'll be counting the mother's pulse inside of the fetus's heart. And so you become confused. Like the point, especially students, and they will always not, this mother, madam, I can't hear. When they come to the facilities, oh, I can't hear anything. Nothing at all, even including medical students. They can't hear. Because the fetoscope is on the heart, on the abdomen, recording the fetus's heart. And at the same time, the person is holding the mother's hand to compare. And now she didn't leave there. So she was confused between the fetus heart rate, and the maternal pulse. And eventually she will tell you, oh, the pulse is about 75. Hey. Immediately she tells you that, you know that she's rather counting the mother's pulse instead of the fetal heart rate. So please, when they come around, they meet you wherever you are, you always have to do that correction for them. Otherwise, and there is another thing. How many minutes do we count the fetal heart rate? 6 minutes. Do we always do that? Yes. True. No, not everyone. Oh, not everyone. They will count 30 seconds and 60 seconds times 4, 30 seconds times 2. We do it a lot. But do you know, I initially mentioned the acceleration and the deceleration of, when you count the fetal heart rate, it begins like him. In the process, then it will reduce. And that is where you said irregularity, something comes in. But for a period, it will come up again and then it will regain the strength and move on, which is a normal process. Now you counted 30 seconds. Maybe at that point you reached the to the end. Oh, fetal heart rate is good. However, maybe there is a cord compression somewhere. There is cord around the neck somewhere, which is strangulating this baby to become distressed. And so, with the first up, now as it went down, it's becoming difficult because the blood circulation carrying oxygen is reducing. And so, the heart rate, instead of picking up, may remain in the deceleration state. you have recorded your 140. In the next moment, 30 minutes, you went back. You feel it all. What happened? Because you didn't do your job well initially. And now it is popping up to tell you that what you did at the first time is not true. That's why I'm saying that we should remind ourselves that when we are counting the entire happy, please, be it at the ANC, be it at the Midwifery, wherever you are counting it, please, let's do well, do the right thing. Otherwise, you kill somebody's baby. If through your hands a baby dies, you will not see it today, but you will reap it in future. You bring curse upon yourself. You may not know. Because that baby whom you killed, you didn't know that you have killed that baby. But you want a baby for your own self. The judgment will come. Indirectly, so many things happen to us. You cannot explain. So you always mix the four. Please, let's do the right thing. Because midwifery is a noble profession. It's the first profession in the Bible. I believe you all know. God bless them. Bless the Hebrew women because they did not kill the babies who were to be killed by Pharaoh. They didn't compromise. And so God bless them and their house. That is what the word tells us. God bless the women and their entire household. So once you pick to be a midwife, I tell you, you've taken it very, very good. But then, the actions and the activities in the work demand so much on ourselves that if you don't take care, it's easily dicey to make a mistake or something of that sort, and then a very, very severe or serious issue will come. So that is abdominal palpation. Now, we mentioned that if it is occipital posterior position, it means that, Sandra, give me one of the hands and the pelvis for us to demonstrate and see what we want to do. So the occiput is right at the paternal pelvis. And so over here, I always say anatomy application. Whether you like it or not, vagina is always vagina. Pelvis is always, and you can't change it in any way. It's wrong. And so, once you know the pelvic cavity, you know the pelvic ring, and you know all that goes into it. If there is labor, you know the mechanism of labor. So, when you are monitoring the woman, is the application of the knowledge that you have acquired, applying it practically on the woman, so that you'll be able to determine the woman lying down. She doesn't know. She doesn't know what is happening to her, but you know it. That is why you can save her life. That is why you can save the baby. This is fetal distress. The effort is very, very low. Keep the woman in the left lateral position for what? Why forward? One person at a time. Why would you put a woman who is having fetal distress in the left lateral position but not in the right? The rationale.
Hello, ma.
Hello.
Ma, the reason is that
Yes, we are listening.
when you put the woman on the left lateral position, it enhances good blood circulation for the attention.
Yes. She started as one of
The
Yeah.
blood that is in the period when the cover is a deoxygenated blood.
Yeah.
And the one in the filter is oxygenated blood.
Sure.
So one lies on the left. The oxygenated blood transferred to the fetus
Yes.
for good circulation and also to the mother for good circulation.
All right.
So please advise them to sleep on the left side.
Thank you. Please, what is your name?
Now, please, I'm Anita.
Anita what?
Anita Opo.
Opoku. Good. We are very grateful to you. That is the application, and I know that you all know it. Maybe you can someone. And the offering. And so this is the Ghanaian health. And so this woman is in labor, and then this baby is descending. Then it turns this way. So you see that the occiput is. Are you getting it? So if you do pelvic palpation, this place will be flat.
We can see you.
Aha. They can see it there. Where should we stand?
So the way you're standing now.
The way we are standing.
Yes.
And so if the occiput is facing the maternal pelvis, it could go this way, and then the ilioperitoneal line will be the what? The occiput is facing the maternal pelvis. All right. But the denominator will be the ilioperitoneal line, which is over here. And so, even though it is longitudinal line, the position is not anterior, left or right. It has turned to posterior position. And so, with this, the baby will come out face to pelvis. So the baby may come out this way, but the process prolongs. Normally, they do have long active phase. If, for example, about 6 hours, you may spend about 7 to 8 hours only in the first stage. And then
Please, can I see you?
you can see. You can see.
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yes, so they can see.
Is it better?
Yes, please.
Uh-huh.
Yes, see now.
Or you can see. So I'm talking about occipital posterior position.
Okay.
The line is longitudinal, but the position is occiput now, not anterior, left or right. And so the occiput is facing the maternal pelvis. Now when you do pelvic palpation, you may see, because the face is facing the symphysis pubis, from the neck, from the chin downwards, you realize that when you palpate, that place will become like a saucer shape. There will be a groove over there. And so the midwife can identify if it is not proper. And the occiput faces the maternal. So the baby will come out face to pubis. And I mentioned, hello. I mentioned that. Hello.
Yes, I'm listening. Please, why is it that with the face to pubis, the labor takes very long?
The rotation instead of the 1/8 rotation, it will rather move forwards more than the 1/8. No, it will. No, not the 1/8. The 1/8 will be the normal cycle. But then, because of the positioning, it will drag down, so it will reduce. Instead of the 1/8, it will be about 1/6 of the internal rotation. And so, it will prolong the active phase of the labor. And then this baby will come out face to pubis. So when you do vaginal examination, what would you feel if it is the phase that is coming? Sometimes, what? You feel what? Anterior fontanel. And so, as midwives, you should always know the sutures and then the fontanels. But with proper flexion, you feel what? The posterior fontanel. So if you do, you know the anterior fontanel is large and the posterior fontanel is small. And so if you do vaginal examination and immediately your hand enters into that suture, you can easily conclude that this baby is coming with the face. And then your palpation over here at the pelvic area will also bring out the saucer shape or the groove-like structure over there, telling you that this is not anterior presentation. And so you can conclude. So that in our write-ups, if she comes in labor and you do all these examinations in your write-up, it should come in. Vaginal examination done. Findings. Don't just mention 8 cm, 4 cm, 5 cm, membranes intact. No. Even through vaginal examination, you can still do decent in relation to the ischial spines. Whether the head is above the ischial spines or below. Have we done vaginal examination? Yes. Okay, so I believe that you know that already. And then you can also assess the adequacy of the pelvis through vaginal examination. So you see that vaginal examination is not a joke. There are so many things that can happen which we have believed. But we have learned it. Add it up. From now onwards, add it up wherever you find yourself. So that when you are teaching the young ones come to you, they will be happy that they have learned, they have really seen theories, actions. And so, basically, that is the abdominal examination for Madam Zoe. Madam Zoe, thank you very much. After I examined you, your baby's head is coming down. In fact, I didn't do this end. I'll do that, the abdomen. The heartbeat is very good. It's beating very, very well. So let me just add up the descent. The face is here. Sorry, the back is here. So the face is here. Okay. So if you are going to look for the descent, where do we find it? It should be here. No, it should be here. Not because the baby's back is here. And so the baby is lying this way. Like I'm standing. The posterior shoulder is the left. And the anterior shoulder is the right. So what is the position? What would be the position? Is it the left or the right? So, okay. So this baby is lying this way. So it will be left occipital anterior position. So if the baby is lying this way, right position. So when you do your palpation, you should be able to identify the position and then add up to your writings. No, normal human beings is flexible for you to identify. This one is a bit hard, but we try our best to. And so you locate the anterior shoulder by palpating with your fingers around here. And then you want to see what we call the acromion process. It is the junction between the clavicle and the humerus. This is our humerus. You know, when you kill a chicken, and breaking the wings, between that space, you see that there is a small knob that is not there at the acromion process. And so, acromion process will be between, this is the clavicle.
We didn't hear the name.
The name, acromion process, is the junction between the clavicle and the. And so over here, so you can touch it yourself and then feel that junction. That is what we are using per abdomen to identify or locate the descent, how far the fetus's head has gone into the pelvic ring. And so over here is left occipital anterior. And so when I'm palpating, this is just a dolly, so it's a bit difficult. And so I go and then palpate. It's falling down. But you palpate and find, and then you feel that there is a knob, a very hard knob over there. When you palpate, you should be able to find it. Then you stabilize that area. You stabilize that area with a finger or two. Then the lower border of your ulna will go on the upper border of the symphysis pubis. And so this is the upper border of the symphysis pubis. So over here, then I'll stretch. So if it is antenatally, this one, 5 fingers, none of the fingers could reach where the anterior shoulder was. So the distance will be what? 0 over 5 over, thank you, 5 over 5. Now, if for example, it moves down a little, depending on the descent of the head, I come here and one finger reach where the anterior shoulder is, the distance will be what? 5. So as it moves downwards until it reaches 0, where no head is palpable. That means that the whole head has entered the pelvic ring. Almost, yeah. But sometimes it's 0.5, but it will be in the transition of second stage of labor. So when the active phase of second stage occurs, that is where, even if you ask her to lie down, she can't lie down. Mommy, don't push, I can't stop. Because it's in the active phase of the second stage of labor. When the head comes down and the descent is 0 feet, it doesn't mean that the head is coming down. So at that time, we say transition or latent phase of second stage until she has the vigorous edge to bear down, to push. And that is where she is in the active phase of the second stage. Then you put her down. By the time you turn yourself, the head is almost coming out. That one becomes, is it voluntary or involuntary? Involuntary action. Yes. And so that is the descent. Like I said, the descent, you can still do it per vagina. When you enter, and then how far the head has reached, you can assess it with the ischial spines. When it is above, it is the minuses. When it is below, it is the pluses. And then, as it moves, the doctors normally do that.
That one is for stations.
And I said the doctors normally do, but we don't do it. We always do per abdomen. Let's try our hands per vagina and see. Change your side a little, and then it shall be well. So that is the descent of the abdomen. Any question? Any question from those?
They want you to go over the descent.
Who said I should go?
They said you should. You can see from their faces.
Oh, they haven't mentioned, so I won't go over.
I don't give you the descent.
They are. They are
But someone is
saying
saying no.
who said it?
Yeah, there's a lady at the back.
Who? You said there was the acronym process. Oh, the acronym process is, as I mentioned, is the space between the clavicle, the junction between the clavicle and the femoral bone. And there is a junction there with that knob. That knob is known as the acronym process. And so, how far the head has descended depends on how far you can reach that junction and then assess the head descent. Whether it's above the pelvic rim or it is below the pelvic rim. And it is assessed by our fingers. We divide the head into 5. And so, as you place your hand there to feel it, some even will place their hand on the, try to feel, for they can place their hand over the head. So how much the head has, the fingers can cover the head, some also will say it is assessed with a descent. They can use that one. So they can place their hand like this. They can place their hand over the abdomen and then assess whether the whole 4 or the 5 fingers can cover the head. That tells you that there is no descent. And you know, descent during ANC, multiparous, when do their descent start? In labor. Majority in labor, most of them in labor. From 36 weeks at ANC with the primates, you will get their descent. Yes. You know, and it's all due to the muscular extensions and the relaxation of the muscles in the multiparous women. So it's a bit difficult for the contractions or the pulling up together of the muscles to relax. And so when they get into labor, then by the time they come, even if you do vaginal examination in multiparous and you say she's about 3 or 4 cm, by the time you realize she's about 6. Because already there is the patulous uterus cervix over there. There is an opening already there before she even starts the show. And so they can do that unless a few instances where problems become into retard. Otherwise, that is okay. So if you are fine, we can move on to managing pain in labor. Managing pain. Difficult, and then we'll say that pain and discomforts that come about in labor is an essential thing. We give education at the ANC. How to even breathe in and out and all that. But when they come, they feel because of the pain, they can't take control of themselves about these things. So, in fact, it shouldn't be ignored. And I think the first point is to do what? When she comes in labor, she says, shh, auntie, you hear me? What do you say? So, auntie, sorry. It's a normal process. That is how the baby will be able to. It's the journey that the baby is taking through. So it will be fine when everything is done. And then, so I mentioned the ANC thing already. Then during admission in labor, you re-emphasize what she has learned over there. Then you allow the woman, she can be talking about if membranes. The membrane structure, what happens? Cord prolapse. Sometimes they can be walking around, immediately they'll be a cash. What do? Immediately you should lie down, then we do another examination to rule out if there is no prolapse. Okay. So we have some drawings on the board. Have you seen the number 1? Okay, we call it deep breathing cleansing plus slow breathing. Deep breathing. So the woman, you teach the woman to take in deep breathing and then slow. And so it will go like that is the deep breathing plus slow, deep cleansing plus slow breathing. Deep cleansing plus slow breathing. That is the first one. Then the second one is deep cleansing plus shallow fast breathing. Deep cleansing plus shallow fast breathing. So she will take it like. Did you hear? Shallow fast breathing. Deep cleansing plus shallow fast breathing. They are all exercise. It's like they are all breathing exercises, but in stages. Then, when she reaches the second stage, deep cleansing plus push. Mommy, came from what they say, oh, not fraction. That is it. Deep cleansing plus push. That is the third one. The third one is deep cleansing plus push. And the fourth one is deep cleansing plus not push. Or blow. Don't push. Don't push. Don't push, but blow. So she take. Or she can, somebody can hold onto the breather and will not push. And that is the time that you are extending. Because if the push continues with your extension, she may get a crack or a cut or a tear. So I hope that we've gotten it. Deep breathing.
Those are my simple words.
I should go over. Okay. Okay, so when the woman comes in labor and she's in pain, some of the pain management, quite apart from giving epidural, are some of the things that we are just mentioning. And so we have the deep cleansing plus, the first one is deep breathing. That is deep cleansing plus slow breathing. And so you take a deep breath and then move slowly. So when she comes in, yeah. No. It's the same thing, no. Deep breathing is deep cleansing. So you can write deep cleansing. Cleansing. S-I-N-G. The deep breathing is the same as cleansing. It's like you are taking more oxygen to cleanse the system for you to get the energy to do what you have to do. And so then the second point is deep cleansing plus shallow, fast breathing. So it goes like, so when it increases the intra-abdominal pressure. And then the deep cleansing plus not push or blow. And so she will take it when the larger diameter of the fetal hair can be seen, you are going to extend. And so that is the point. Mommy, don't push again. Hold on or blow. And so she will She will blow, or she can, some of them can hold on until you finish with your extension. And then she can continue. So this has, and then we have the sacral massage. Sacral massage. You know, some of them, they know when they come, you see them passing through their hands over there. If the person has a partner, the partner can do it for her. She doesn't have any partner. You teach her to do it herself. It's a soothing something on the neck around here to relieve some pressure. Is that what?
Why do you do it for them? They like.
Yes, they like it. Oh. In fact, it's a soothing something. That's why they get the companion. It helps them. But you know, our facilities are small that they can't accommodate a companion together with a client. Some places do have, some places we don't have. So when we have a free hand, then we do it a little for them. And you continue. When I have it, I'll come back. And then, like I initially mentioned, that allow the woman to be walking around, walking to this and everything. So you see that. So sometimes when they reach there, they will hold on to the bed and they will do this. Mommy, don't shield, don't push. So allow the woman to walk when the membranes are not ruptured. When the membranes are ruptured, please let them be in bed and monitor. Okay. Otherwise, the cord will slip and you have an emergency. When she is wrongfully dilated, it may become an emergency CS, especially if she is about 5 years and the cord, membranes are ruptured, the cord collapses. It's an emergency case which we have to, especially the fetus is viable. So these are some of the things that we do. Maybe you only will give an analgesic. For example, mention some of the analgesic. Synthetic or chemo. What? Sometimes they may give pregnancy. Diluted, about 25 milligrams. Diluted and then given. But you have to monitor the fetal heartbeat because if she's about 7 cm and she's feeling so much pain, you give that, you may end up with the baby coming out with fetal distress. Yes. No fetal distress per se, but respiratory distress. And so if you deliver, you are able to deliver the baby at a due time, this baby may come sleeping. You give an antidote we call naloxone hydrochloride. Naloxone hydrochloride. Naloxone. To reverse the action of the method. Okay. And so hello. I said if you give the woman pethidine injection and she's about and she's about 7 cm, you have to observe and monitor the fetal heart rate because this baby could be delivered with respiratory distress. And so such babies may be given injection naloxone hydrochloride as a reverse or antidote to the pethidine. Okay.
Please, the route of administration.
The route of the baby. You can give it intramuscular, hypodermal, intramuscular, yeah. But I'm not sure of the dosage, so I won't tell you. Find out. I don't want to tell you.
Hydrochloride, NaLO.
Naloxone. N-O-Z-Z-A-X.
And the mother, the president, is it I am or are you?
Well, in fact, with pain, severe pain, when you dilute, then you give it IV, very slowly. But normally, it will be given as diluted. You know, Petidin is how many mils? One. It's 1 mil. 100 milligrams in 1 mil. And so you are going to give 0. No, it is no. 0.5. It will be 0.25. 0.5 will give you half. 5.
0.5.
Yes. So it will be 0.25. Then you dilute with aqua. No. I think no, not the 10 mils. 0.5 to 5 mils, yes. And then you give it slowly.
To the mother IM or IV.
I'm talking about the IV, then you dilute.
It is the
Petidin
we are talking about.
Yes. If you are giving IV, then you dilute.
Yes.
If it is IM, you don't dilute. Yes. Because the action differs.
Yes.
Because
Thank you.
Okay. Any question? Is it interesting?
Yes.
Okay. And so it's an application of all you already need, bringing it into action.
Well, please, and I'll give you, I think only pertinent that you can give, or there's any other.
What have you been given? In fact, Petidin is the commonest one. Cortisone is more difficult. That one is morphine. Yes. Morphine. So, any questions? Any questions? Otherwise, I want a summary.
What about the non-sponsored thing?
Okay. Nospa, Buscopan, they are given to relax the smooth muscles of the cervix. If the woman's cervix, there is a, if the cervix is not dilating and it's a little bit swollen up, then you can give Buscopan or not.
There is announcement at my place. My medical officer, when he comes and you are giving the Buscopan, he tells you that recent studies is saying that Buscopan does not do anything to the service. So if we have any studies to confirm what we are doing, if not, then he does not support that we give the Buscopan. I don't know.
And so have you also checked up?
Come on, it helps too. It really helps.
Yeah.
It really helps. Like, especially when you're running through the give them so much. The one will give us food.
You know, if somebody has severe lower abdominal during menses, cramps, severe cramps, you give Buscopan and she lies down within the 15 to 20 minutes, she will relax. And so, I don't know where the medical suit, hey, you said medical suit or medical but it has a literature on that comes with the drugs, or you don't have it. Okay, you can still Google and find out. Yes.
I'm just saying this so that if we can also go into it and
yeah, that is good. That is why you are learning.
So anything that comes and then it gives you a border on your mind. It's a push for you to find out why. And you come out with something positive. Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
I've also observed something with the Buscopan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it helps, but it seems with some women, after it relaxes the uterus and bleeding sets in, unless you eat tonics before the bleeding can stop.
Okay.
That's the side effect I've observed.
Observe.
Sometimes it relaxes the muscles, yeah.
It relax. So it relaxes the smooth muscles.
And the uterus pattern.
Okay. And so it means that she is prone to bleeding. Okay. So that is her observation. Maybe other areas you haven't observed that you may try also to find out, to confirm or affirm it that it is a true fact. It's all for the good of the woman. So we are trying to. So maybe instead of giving some of these drugs, we can help her with the breathing, sacral massage, the walking around. If she's sweating, give some cold drink and then a cold bath. Yes, you can. You know, cold bath also does what to the woman? It stimulates contractions. How does it stimulate it? Which way? What is the rationale? That's why you are doing degree. Whatever you say, there should be a proof. Huh?
Changes then
just like how you were saying, when we use
Our hands to touch will react, and then maybe that will continue. Okay. Did you get it? All right. So we want a summary. How many groups do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and those standing there, 6. So every line, 2 people should. So you add up to those.
The third line, Amina. There is an Amina there. I don't know if she remembers me, but I know her.
Who is Amina?
The one in the yellow.
Hey!
No, you are not Amina, but you know me.
But maybe she resembles the person.
I know her.
Oh, okay. Maybe when you finish there, you will identify. Yes, from the first group.
okay.
In a summary.
One in a summary.
Summary so that they will hear.
When
They will hear. Amplify your voice.
we came, we have learned about the abdominal examination, and we saw that there are a lot of things that when we want to do abdominal examination, we will observe. First, we do observation, and in observation on the abdomen, you have to observe whether there are scars, striations, and edema, and the size of the abdomen, and then the way the baby is lying on the abdomen. You can just observe and see whether the baby is lying transversely or cephalic or even breech. When you look at it, you can look at that.
Okay, thank you. Another person. Okay.
There are 3 parts with abdominal palpation. The first one is the vaginal palpation. The second one is the lateral. Then you go to the pelvic. With the vaginal palpation, okay. You come out, please come out.
Yes.
So you bring your tray. Then we explain procedure, we greet, then we introduce ourselves, then we explain procedure to them.
This is your tray.
afternoon, Madam Amina. My name is Midwife Jessie. At this moment, I'm coming to examine your abdomen. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but then I'll make sure that I'll make it more okay, so as I've explained it to her, I'll wash my hands. Once she already has a cloth that's covering her, I will expose only the abdomen. So I'll pull this down and I'll pull this up. Before that, she has urinated, she has emptied her bladder. So I'll start with the fundal palpation. So I'll use the innermost part. So I'll start from the fundus and I'll palpate the fundus downwards to this part. When I'm done and I know the product's there, then I'll take my same measure to measure the symphysis fundal height. So I will embrace the fundus like this. Put the tape measure to the upper border of the symphysis pubis. So this is the upper border. This is the okay. Okay, so to the upper border of the symphysis pubis. So when I'm done, then I'll come to the lateral.
Thank you. Yes, second line.
When she was doing the palpation, she said the inner aspect of the thumb, but she was using the.
No, let me do it again. Like this, yeah. Like this.
Okay,
Like this. So I was coming down like it's not like this. I wasn't doing this.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, group 2. What's your name? Really? Come. One.
The one turning the neck. Yes, I mean. No. Yes, please. The one with the. Is it rosary? Scapula. Yes. The third man, she knows herself.
After you finish the fundal palpation, you do the lateral palpation. You do the outermost first. You use the inner aspect of the yeah. To locate the back and then the limbs. I found the back here. Then I will do the.
I didn't see you do this type.
I did this one.
So you are doing it together?
No, I did this one first.
No, you start again.
Sorry.
Okay.
I find my back, so I will do the transportation. I will walk the stethoscope.
Someone is saying your watch is somewhere.
Where is your watch?
Is there?
Oh, I will pick it.
Once I'm talking, that's all. When I put the maternal force, I will leave the hand and then use my voice to pound the fetal hand.
You play the elbows, almost touching the woman's mouth. Okay, thank you. Yes, the next person. Say now. Yes, yes.
In doing the palpation, do we stand anywhere?
I didn't mention. Why do we stand at the right side? Yes.
After they have done the fundal, measured the fundal height, done the lateral, then I want to do the pelvic bone. So with that one, I've learned that you have to tell the woman you are flexing the leg. Madam, please, I'm flexing your leg. Sorry, okay. And then you stand here so that you can face and then you know what you are doing.
And so do.
You see the position of the hand. And one more.
So do it.
That is that we are learning.
You are learning.
Me, I don't hide. For the past 6 years, I've been in the theater. So these things, I'm just
Now refreshing.
So this time, we know that the line is longitudinal, it's cephalic. So we are going to look for the head.
So do it.
So what I know is,
Over here, there's a citizen home. So you go in. And then,
so do you use here or you are using
no,
here?
when you are. So you go this way first. And then you bring, so just as you did over there. So you go this way. And then you repeat.
Sometimes you see them want to be
Yes, you want to ensure that it's safe and not it's like you are permitting them in the same way. So you go here. Once you are satisfied, relaxing, then do the distance. Do the distance.
So, you see,
Once the back is here, the face is here.
the face is here.
Yes. And so you come rather
To the face.
go up a little.
Like
Yes.
Okay, so you have to locate the point with
Yes. And then you stabilize that place.
stabilize.
Yes.
Then you are going to
Use the lower one of the oil.
then you come nice. So the number of fingers that were the
Will
meant.
give you the
So if
So
it
the difference is what?
5 over
4. Because one finger has reached where
this one.
it's part of it. Good. Yes. Part 3. Summary. Pain management. Okay. So, what comes into reassuring? Don't just mention the points. Who will reassure? Who will do that? You. What will you say? Tell me. Reassure me. Reassure me.
I'll reassure you.
Say what comes into it. So tell me what is the reassuring thing.
You will tell her that she is competent.
Say now, Auntie Felicia, please. Attention, you have introduced yourself. for tell me. What comes into what we want to say? Did you get it? So I'm handing for you. Okay, so let another person. Yes, there are one in red t-shirt. Yourself. Yourself.
Sister, you encourage her on deep breathing exercise. The
So
first
pick
one
one.
is deep breathing and slow breathing.
Deep cleansing.
Cleansing.
So what would you do? So do it. I want to use the action. Midwives, we take action. The what? Yes, midwives take action. So action is breathing. So you are going to teach the woman to do that. So it's okay, thank you. Let the next person. Fourth line.
Deep cleansing plus push.
Okay.
Then we have the deep cleansing plus without push.
So deep cleansing plus push. What should we do? Do
We
it.
allow the woman to breathe like
Do it. Action.
push after.
So push. Yeah. Hey, that is not pushing.
And sometimes we can give petting. And we say petting then with other IV or so if it is IV you dilute with 5 minutes, but if it is the iron, that one will be very good.
Okay, thank you. Another person. The one in the white and the necklace there. The one who is just facing me. Yes.